Hey everyone, I'm back to working on the Bandit 400. Had a little bit of time between the homeschooling and the lockdown and the honeydew list to try and get back at it for a little bit. I've not had this bike working right ever since I did the motor. I'm starting to suspect maybe I did something wrong, but what's keeping me from really thinking that I did anything wrong was the fact that I did get these carburetors to work just for a little bit once before, but then I switched to some K&L FCR carburetors, 33 millimeters, which never ran right, and then a bunch of gas got into the oil, so that threw all the tuning off until I caught that. So I'm like, I'm back to the CVs. Let me just see what can, and now I can't get the original CVs with a Factory Pro Stage 3 kit back to working. It ran fine before I did the motor with this Stage 3 jet kit. The reason I ended up doing with the motor was because I ended up blowing a head gasket and water was getting in there and just messing everything up. So it was just time to do a rebuild. So I did the 0.4 OEM millimeter oversized pistons, and then I went ahead and put GSX-R 400 cams in it, and then I blasted and redid the whole head. You can get some pictures and some more videos off of my YouTube or off my Pinterest. I'll try and post up a link to those two if you want to check more about it. So I'm back to getting the carburetors off here. By the way, this K&L stand comes in, it's great to have to try and work your carburetors out, you know, tearing them up and having them flop all over the table. I might post a link up for that too. I'm not getting sponsorship or anything like that. It's just been like such a neat little thing to have for basically $100 or less. I got different jet kits here, different parts. If some of you guys know, I've built like 5-6 of these Bandit 400s over the years since the mid 90s for either racing for myself or other friends racing. This is the first time I've had so many problems, and my last Bandit 400 put out like 68 horsepower, but that motor was professionally built by a machine shop with bigger cams and pistons and all kinds of light and crank. I went berserko on that motor back when I had a little more time and money. Now family's the priority, so do what I can with what I can. So here's the Bandit, where it sits. A couple people have asked about this right here. It's Simon Francis. You can get that. I had to do some custom cutting on that to make it work for the heat shield, but he does produce one. Samco and a few other people still make the silicone hoses for it. I'm running a 95 GSX-R 750 front. It bolts pretty much stock in, but you see, before I had the frame powder coated, I welded in a little bracket so I could run a Scotch stamp in her. In the back here, I haven't run this yet. I was running an RF 900 swing arm and rear wheel. That's a straight, pretty much bolt in. You have to do a little bit on some of the link to get it to work. And now I have a GSX-R 1100 swing arm to work out. So far, it's moving really good on the stand. It actually works. It feels like it compresses and does everything way better. And there's actually a YouTube video about that. Front sprocket, I'm running a custom offset by Talon. They produced that for me. You can get a part number off my Pinterest, or I'll post it if you ask me where you can get that. Before I did that, I actually had two RM250 sprockets welded together and then machined off to get the offset correct. Any questions about doing your own custom builds, just ask me. Oh, here's another cool trick people like is I'm actually running the 95 GSX-R 750 passenger setup. I just cut off one bracket, moved it, and welded it where I wanted it. And then I'm doing the 95 GSX-R 750 rear sets as well. These really put your knees up to your ears. So if you are an old guy like me, it's not that comfortable. If you're really tall, it's not that comfortable. But I'm looking at some other brackets, or either having a bracket made where I can put some maneuverability in that. Other than that, I'm frustrated. Trying to do what I can. That's not a Harley back there. That's another 95 GSX-R 750 that I actually track and race. Well, wife doesn't let me race anymore after the last big off. But anyhow, something I still have fun on when I can. Let me know what you think. I'm going to be tackling these carburetors again over the next couple of days and see what happens. And that doesn't work, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to recheck my timing marks on my cams and check my timing mark on the side indicator. I can't remember, off the magneto, whatever that thing's called. I can't remember right now. But you know what I'm talking about. When you're putting it all together, make sure your time marks are all lined up. If that doesn't work, it might be a while before I can get to actually taking the cams out and going back to the OEM cams and see if that makes a difference. But lots of guys have run these GSX-R 400 cams in here and didn't have these issues. So other than that, that's an update. Hope everything's going well for you guys. Stay safe, keep wrenching. And I'm going to post up where I stole that from. He's got some good stuff about tuning and cleaning carburetors. He's called How to Wrench. His name's Shane Conley. Does great how-to stuff. All right, guys. Have a good one.